Hello, everybody. Lately, I've been taking an interest in ethical hacking. I find the field very, very interesting, and I came to this topic from the other side of defense. So, one of my responsibilities is to make sure that our platform is secure. But I found that if to do that, you really have to know the other side, to the attacking side. So I was going through a bunch of videos on Udemy and YouTube. Then I realized that really all of these are actually done through various tools. And the more I studied, I saw that there's just an endless number of tools that are being used to do the ethical hacking. Now, um, then I got got a little confused because there's so many. So what I did, I went to the GitHub repos of all the open source hacking tools that I knew about, and sorted them by stars. As you might know, in GitHub, if somebody likes a repo, then they just do a star on it. That's a good way to know what open source tools are actually very popular. So I will walk you through those. But before I do that, I want you to understand how the hacking generally works in a broad view, with a broad brush, right? Generally, the hacker gets inside the network in some way or another. In the case of pen testers, that's already admitted. So the defense already knows that's happening, because the whole point of this is to know what your vulnerabilities are. So anyway, not to make this video too long, they get into the network somehow. Then they scan for more devices and ports and applications. Once they find those, they match them with known vulnerabilities. Then they break into more hosts, and sometimes they also use man in the middle attack to capture traffic, and they use some kind of tool like Hashcat to actually break the hash and get the actual credential, the password. So that's generally how things flow. So these tools that I'm going to talk about mm, make one or more of these things happen. Some of them do all of it. So those are the more popular ones. So let's get started with that. So the top five, the top one is Metasploit. You can see it has 39,000 stars. That's how many people have starred this repo. It's super super popular, and you will see why in a second, because it does everything. The second one is SQL Map. It's used to get into databases. The third one is popular because it can crack passwords. It's called Hashcat. And as you can see, even these have tens of thousands of stars. The surprise one is something called Nuclei, which I didn't know about until now. It also has almost 16,000 stars, and we'll talk about that in a minute too. I will go over the first top five to what they do, and then you can do your research on your own. I will also leave in down below all the links to the GitHub repos and how many stars they have, and in a sorted order, so it's useful for you. Okay. I'm not going to read all this to you because that'll be super boring. But these are the six. These are the 6 through 10, and as you can see, even they have thousands of stars. These are the ones 11 through 15. Some of them stand out like a Wireshark. Everybody knows about that. W3AF is a really good one for hacking into web applications. Again, the point is not to be a black hat hacker, meaning you're not doing damage. You are hacking into systems known by the company or the your client, because you were trying to tell them what they need to fix. All right, next one. There's the one that stands out in this page is Snort. It's actually a IDS and an IPS, but it's for open source. So that's really amazing that you can have open source free IDS tools, which is detects attacks, and some of them even prevent attacks. And that has 22,000 stars. So at some point, I'm going to try and use that and see how good it is. In this list, this is the last page of the list. There's the 21 through 29. One that stands out for me is the RIDE is actually used for REST API endpoints to test them. That's useful. So let's now talk about the first five. Metasploit, as you can see, it does all kinds of things. It does scanning, it does finds vulnerabilities, it uses actual payload to put code on the exposed machines. It also does it helps you go from a normal user to a privileged user, like root. It does all of that and more, which is why it's probably the most popular tool there is, open source and free, 39,000 stars. Next one is Hashcat. I'm sorry, that I skipped one. SQL map, which I talked about. It's used to inject SQL into your databases, and sometimes you can even use this to take over your database. Third one is a Hashcat. It is used to get passwords from hash digests. Fourth one is Nuclei. Again, like I said, this is new to me. It does open source. It's open source tool for automating web application hacking. It's also very flexible. You can customize with templates, and then you can use the same templates. You can share them, and other people can use the templates to hack into web applications. Again, all of these are ethical hacking, meaning you're intentionally um, not not doing any damage. You're just exposing your clients or the companies, and telling them what they need to fix. The last one I'm going to talk about today is BetterCap. It's almost like Wireshark. It captures traffic between clients and access points, and then it modifies things, like it does all kinds of snooping, like ARP snooping and DNS snooping, to capture traffic, take it into this fake access point that it creates, and then uses that to capture the traffic, and then uses something like Hashcat to actually break into the hash and create and get the credentials to you, so you can use those credentials to get into more machines in your network. So anyway, so I wanted to go over these tools and tell you which ones are more popular, which one you should try. Again, do not break into any machine or any companies unethically. Do it ethically. That's the whole point. And I will see you in the next video.